All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another quick edition of the Squared Circle Cafe. I am Jeremy Moses, and we're going to quickly, and I do mean quickly because apparently we don't have nearly the time we used to have. But I'm going to talk about the Royal Rumble and what I liked and what I didn't like. First off, I liked the result of the men's Royal Rumble match. Drew McIntyre getting the win to advance to WrestleMania. This is great. You know, he deserves it. He deserves a chance to represent the company as a world champion. So I dig that. Also, the returns of Edge. Yes, Edge is back. MVP and Beth Phoenix, and I dug all of those. Molly Holly, who was in her Mighty Molly persona, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it nearly as much as I did Phoenix, Edge, and MVP, especially Edge. I mean, this was a dude that was retired because of a neck injury, and to see him back in there doing what he loved to do, I love that. I also did not hate the women's result. I would have liked to have seen Shayna Baszler win it, but Charlotte Flair gets a win on that, and overall, that I was kind of meh about, to be honest with you. The mixed reaction that she got after winning, well, it was whatever. That about summed it up. Bayley beating Lacey Evans to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. Good result, or the right result. Excuse me. Crowd coming down from the women's match. Thought this was not that bad. Not that offensive. What I really liked was the brutality in two of these matches. First off, and forgive me because I'm getting the hiccups. There we go. Pardon me. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, beat Daniel-Bryan in a strap match for the Universal Championship and retained the championship in that match. Yeah, that was kind of brutal, and I dug that. Brutality that you almost never see in wrestling, so I didn't think this was a bad result. I also did not hate the result of the Falls Count Anywhere match between Roman Reigns and King Corbin. I thought that was strong storytelling overall. I will say, the fact that the Usos, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler came out was kind of foreshadowed. I mean, you kind of had to expect it. It is a Falls Count Anywhere match, which means there's no DQs. So, overall, not bad. I did like the fact that they actually did fight all over the place. So I didn't hate that at all. And then, let's see, what was the other match? I'm looking here, trying to find it. Oh yeah, Becky and Asuka, didn't hate it. Thought that it was strong. Little overbooked in the middle there with the referee nearly calling it off. I didn't really buy into it, so it didn't add anything. The thing with the mist, I could buy into that. Kind of knocked the air out of Asuka. Lynch did with the kick in the gut, and so Asuka spraying the mist into the air worked for me, leading to the disarmer finish. But, yeah, so I did not hate that. I didn't hate this show. I want to go a little bit deeper, though, into the returns of Edge and MVP. I think MVP is a one-off. I don't think we're going to see him regularly on WWE TV anytime soon. I could be wrong on that. I also don't think we'll see Edge nearly as regularly as we did during his early career, or during the first act of his career. But I think we'll see him more often than I would have expected to. Hell, I didn't expect him at all. So they fooled me on that one. I will say Shelton Benjamin criminally misused. But I mean, what are you going to do? Keith Lee coming out number 13 and going head-to-head with Brock Lesnar, who, by the way, had an impressive 13 eliminations. That worked for me. And so did Strowman and Lee briefly working together on that one. But, yeah, that didn't hurt anything. I wasn't a fan of the kick in the balls from Ricochet, leading to the elimination by Drew McIntyre with the Claymore kick. But in the overall story, I guess it worked. So, yeah. Those are kind of my quick thoughts on the Royal Rumble match. Overall, didn't hate it. I certainly can't hate on where they're going with all of this. And I do think that I do think that Lesnar and McIntyre are going to face off at WrestleMania. And I do think that Reigns is likely headed for a collision with The Fiend. I don't hate either match, but I just want to see... I kind of want to see what happens with Reigns and The Fiend. How they work around this invincibility thing that The Fiend seems to be doing lately. Anyway, that's about all I have, at least in quick condensed thoughts on this show. If you want to follow us, we are at SCC Podcast. I am at Jeremy Moses 85 on Twitter. We are on Facebook at Squared Circle Cafe. Email, of course, is squaredcirclecafe@gmail.com. And, yeah. So, until the next time... Oh! I almost forgot. Silly me. I want to, real quick, get this little bit of promotion out there. I will be appearing on the Flawed Laws podcast out of Oklahoma City. It's a podcast that talks about weird laws in the 50 states. I will be appearing on that in the next couple of weeks. I will give you details on that on the Twitter accounts that I mentioned later on this week. I'm recording on Wednesday, and then it'll air within the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited to be a part of that. Stay tuned. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I encourage you to give those guys a follow. So that's it for me. I'm Jeremy Moses. Thank you for listening. We are the podcast by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.